Yo, what's up epic gamers, my name is Fox and welcome to another video of mine. In this video we're gonna go over E11S, the Fate Breaker. This is a really cool fight. Now, please remember, these strats were literally day 1 strats. We did this fight, we cleared it, and I think you cannot do much different from how we did it. Yes, there will be some different strats out in the future, so please make sure to check out updated strats, either from me or for some other content creator. Just, I cannot stress this enough, maybe there's better strats out there. I'm going to explain to you how to resolve the mechanics in this video, how they work and what to do in what situation, alright? The fight, I think, is, after progging it, straightforward. You just got to learn the mechanics. They're not too hard to execute, if you ask me. And very fun fight. So yeah, just make sure that you remember the different elements that you're going to see and how to resolve them, right? I'm going to explain again every mechanic and how we handle them. Right, that's about it. So let's, I would say, jump into it. Every time this fight will start with a protein spread. That's how we call it. So what is the protein spread? It's just a spread around the boss, basically. I mean, let me get this better in here so we see everyone spread. There we go. Everyone is spread. Elemental Break is the cast that you want to watch out for. Elemental Break indicates a spread around the boss. So just have everyone spread, like I said. What is important here is that you want to have a tank, DPS, healer, DPS, tank, DPS, blah blah. Every time you want to have someone in between, because depending on the variation of this cast or the element that he casted with, you have to stack with a partner. There's going to be a huge area on your DPS, they have to stack it with the tank or healer, or it will be a spread. Now, in our case here, he will be doing the Thunder, which is another spread. So basically, you have to watch out for what element the Fate Breaker is casting while he's casting the original cast. So the whole fight is basically, there's going to be a cast here, which will indicate the mechanic that is going to happen, and there's going to be an AoE, a dragon surrounding him, which will indicate the element that is bound to this cast. Depending on the element that he's casting, which is, can be fire, thunder, or the last one, light, wind, yellow, I don't know how we called it exactly, the mechanic will change. So this is very important, to know all the combinations that are possible, which you will encounter at the very end anyway. So you have to learn all of them, right? Because it's kind of like the final lap of this fight. You will have every mechanic with every single element, right? So we're gonna go through all of them. Very simple and straightforward. Let's then start. So Element Break with Thunder is gonna be a huge AoE. Basically, it's gonna be a cone AoE on everyone plus another circle AoE around every person. So you have to spread and spread out further. Have all range go outside and have the melees keep up time. If it's fire here, which we'll see later, you just basically, the DPS go clockwise onto that tank or healer and they soak it together. I'm gonna go into light later. Let's take a look here. You will see the protein here. There you go. That's protein, as I was saying. And then we have the other huge, you can see this is very big, this area, right? So make sure you spread out properly, because if you overlap this, you're dead, because it gives you a vuln. Then we have Burn Strike. Burn Strike is, again, going to be a mechanic that will have an element fused to it, as I said before. If this is electric or electro type, you will have to go to the edges, because Burn Strike will always be a AoE that is under the boss, straight in the line towards where he's facing, and then it's going to be followed up by either another bigger AoE. If it's electro, if it's fire, it will be a knockback, and if it's light, we're going to see later. I'm going to explain the light mechanics when they come up. So here you can see he will first do the line AoE. This is the line AoE, so be out of this. This will always be there, and now comes the electro follow-up. There it is, boom. Electro follow-up, so make sure to be outside. There's no way to keep up time on this. Bound of Faith is, again, the base mechanic. It's going to be a tether on a person, and depending on what is followed up, again, you have to resolve it differently. In our case here, we have the fire, which is just a normal stack. Stack on the group and resolve it. AoE damage. Done. Burnished Glory, huge AoE damage, huge dot. Don't let anyone die. Powder Mark is a 2-part tank buster, which will do damage twice on the tank that is tanking the boss at the given time. As you can see, here is a Voke, so the off tank has to Voke. It's a tank swap. The main tank will take a debuff, which you'll see in a second. So first, you watch here the health bar of our DL. First, he takes damage. As you can see, this hurts. This was with cooldowns, so really make sure to use your cooldowns. And he has now this debuff. This debuff will explode during the next mechanic, which I will show you. Again, it will do damage, but it will also do AoE damage around the tank. If you clip anyone with it, they're dead. So I'm going to show you that later. Turn of the Heavens. Turn of the Heavens indicates that there will be... How do I say this? There will be something spawning on the map. The element that circles around him will indicate what element is unsafe, right? And I think the first one is always fire. I am 99% sure it's always fire, the first one, so you don't have to worry about this one. I don't remember having ever having Electro here. So you just walk. Basically, these AoEs are spawning, and all you have to do is you just walk in between them here on the edge. The safe spots are here, here, and here. This is not safe, by the way. So what we do, we drag the boss here. Our range switches here. We could have stood here too. It wouldn't have mattered. What is important here is that the tank who has the powder mark on him cannot stack with the group, otherwise he will blow up the group. All right, this is important. You can see this is still the debuff on the tank here. So let's watch how this resolves. Basically, again, red here is not safe. If you're inside of the blue, you will get the damage down and you take damage. You will not die though. The other tank just really grabs the boss over to here. Boom, done. Look at how we resolve it. Melee can even keep uptime here, very easy. And you will see while the blue AoEs, the red AoEs explode, you will see the powder mark explode on the tank. Also, again, pop cooldowns for this. It really hurts. There you go, done. Burn Strike again, like before. Is it gonna be Before we had the huge AoE around him, now it's going to be followed up by a knockback. I don't use arm's length. You can do it, but I keep my arm's length for the next mechanic basically. So what you do is after the cast is over, you just move into the hitbox. Move in, boom, get knocked back, done. Bound of Faith is again the tether. Now this time we have the Electro version of the tether. Now, how is the Electro version resolved? The Electro version will put a huge dot on the person that has a tether. What we did is we said to the Electro tether to go in front of the boss. But there's a twist to it. The two tanks are basically getting targeted with a cleave of Electro and have to face it away from the group. So how to resolve this is basically that the person who has a tether goes to the front of the hitbox and the two tanks are next to them. So they face the cleave outwards front. You'll see how this is resolved. The two tanks are standing here basically, there, and the tether is right there. You can't see it very well, but you will see the AoEs go off. There you see one tank. There is the tether person. The other tank is standing here. Right. This is how it's baited. Boom, safe spot in the back. Very simple, straightforward in my opinion. Elemental Break. Again, spread. This time it's a fire spread, so we spread and then we stack with our partners, so the DPS just rotate clockwise and we're done. There you go. Boom, stack, done. Shifting Sky will indicate he's gonna now disappear. Now here is time to remember what he's casting. He's casting Electro, so that means Electro is gonna be unsafe. It's important to remember for the next mechanic. Alright, so first mechanic that possibly can be handled different the way we did, but I think our way was fine because there's no uptime anyway. So he casts the Electro, which means that Electro will be unsafe. Fire will be safe here. Okay, just very fast what's going on. This area here in the middle, where the dragon is, not safe. If you walk into this, you're dead. There's going to be two ads spawning on the edge of the arena, which will have two tethers on them. One of them will be fire, one will be thunder. The same effect as doing before, so basically the fire one will have to stack with the group. The thunder will be not stacking, but will be around the tanks to face again these electro AoEs, right? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna first, I have the fire. There you go. So now it appears I have fire. I'm gonna go stack with the group. Someone else has thunder, and then I'm gonna explain exactly how to resolve it. It's very simple. Right. So we have the arena here split into two. The stack always goes to the first one on the right here. We stack all together. And again, here you can see now better how the tanks are positioned. The electro tether in the middle, the two tanks on the left and the right to basically bait these cones that are gonna follow this up. And always leave some spaces. So we had one group here, one group there. I don't think this is very hard to resolve. I think this is very doable. You'll see now how this all resolves. Perfect. Now, there will be two other ads that will cast the Burn Strike version, right? You can see here Burn Strike, the cast is happening. So there will be two AoEs that go through the middle of the arena. One of them will be extended because it's thunder, as you can see, and one of them will be fire, which will have a knockback bound to it. So the way you handle this is you get away from this guy, because this guy's AoE will be like this, right? So you have to open your eyes, you look, okay? So safe spot will be around here, because this guy will also cast an AoE. If you're standing here, you're going to get hit by this guy, right? So this is very important that you're standing around here to dodge this one and this one. You can watch how I resolve this. I just walk through it, basically, right? You have enough time. You have time until this cast goes through. So this one's casting first, huge AoE, and then this one will cast. Now you can also obviously arm's length this. This is why I said don't use it before. You just use arm's length here, and the mechanic there becomes irrelevant for you, right? Boom, knockback ain't gonna knock you back. All right, let's move on. I hope so far everything is clear for you. Elemental break, spread fire, which means stack with your friend, stack with your partner. DPS rotate clockwise. We had a black mage, so he didn't rotate. So our healer rotated anti-clockwise. Burnish Glory, AoE dot on everyone. Make sure to use your mitigation. Help your healers heal through this, please. Elemental break again. Now we have the new element. Now you can decide how to call this. It's light. Probably we called it light, I think. Light will have, again, different reactions to the cast. So this is elemental break. This is going to be a spread into three groups in a way. One group will be the tanks in the front taking a double tank buster together. And the other one will be two groups on the side. Very simple in my opinion. So basically, we three will stack on the healer, right? So we will just move on to the healer and take in the conal AoE, and the same goes on the other side. Let's see how this resolves. Very simple. So the first, the cone AoE on everyone. And then you can see here, the tanks together, there's a group of three, and there's a group of three. I think this is very simple and straightforward. No other way to handle this, in my opinion. So, yeah. That was the light elemental break. Burn Strike. So this is going to be the first time we have the light Burn Strike. This is, for those of you that are older to the game, you can call this a twister basically. For those of you that are newer to the game, it's Step Leader from E11S kind of. So you bait an AoE on the side of him. You can bait this anywhere. We decided to do this on the sides, and then we move front and back. You can also all stack together on the back or all stack together on the front. That's up to you. No, you cannot do this. Sorry. You have to do this on the side. I just forgot, because he will obviously cast again another AoE through the middle. My bad. Please ignore. So you have to bait this on the sides. We did this properly. Side baits, and then you move front or back, right? So you wait. This is the AoE I was talking about. You wait until now will be some light appearing, and then you move. There's a light. You saw the light here? This appears. Now we move. Because now these will resolve. Like twisters, they will resolve, or like Step Leader from E11S, as you remember it maybe. So first again, go to the sides, bait, wait for this light to appear, and move. Band of Faith. This is the tether mechanic. Now this time with light. What does light do? It will put a heavy AoE damage on one person. You don't have to mitigate this or anything, like right now, you will have to mitigate later. If you're too close to this target, you will get the dot 2 and you will wipe. You will get this AoE. So you need to get away from this tether person. Everyone spread away from them. You will see how the cast will have an AoE on it. Let's take a look. There it is. If you're inside of this AoE, you will get the same debuff as this person will get, and you will wipe the group. So here you can see now an AoE, a debuff on our ninja, and this resolves now. It's a huge AoE, a holy AoE. This is followed up with Burnished Glory, so more AoE damage. Lots of AoE damage. Lots and lots of AoE damage. Powder Mark, as before, just a tank buster. Make sure to tank swap. Remember that the off tank now has a mark on them. Right of the Heavens, fire. Does mean that fire is unsafe, will have to go to blue. Right, so this at first, oh my god, this is so complicated. No, it's not. Safe spot is always here, on this line basically. If you're DPS or a healer or the main tank, you can just stand here. If you're the off tank, you have to go away, because your powder mark will explode. Where is the other safe spot? It's here. Here is one, and also at the bottom here, you will see how this resolves, right? So we just stand there. Again, the dragon was fire, which is why we're standing on blue. The tank is now here. You can't see it because of a picture. The same safe spot is here. There was the powder mod explosion. There you go. You can see now where the safe spot is, right? You see here, there's a safe spot, there's a safe spot, and we are standing on the safe spot. Very simple. Burn Strike, so that's the AoE in the middle. Followed up by Fire, which means knockback. This will repeat the whole fight several times, so you really need to learn how these work, right? Very, very important. Bound of Faith, which is the tether on one person. This is fire, so it is a stack. If this is thunder, it's again to the front, and the tanks will then bait the conal that is followed afterwards. Elemental Break is again the spread fire, so you stack with your partner. If this is thunder, you will have to go away and spread even more. If it's light, then you will have to stack in groups. Thunder Sky is just another fancy name for I'm going to disappear and do some new mechanic. It is thunder, right? So this one's going to be a bit different. I want to explain. It is thunder, which means that blue is unsafe. But there's a twist to this. Let's take a look and I'll explain exactly how to do. Remember, it's thunder. If this is fire, it's going to be the opposite, obviously. So there will be a knockback, and you have to get knocked back to the unsafe side. So this was thunder. We get knocked back to blue first, because you have to bait a dragon that is summoned. This dragon here will have a conal AoE that goes in front of him. So if you go to the safe side immediately, he will clip you with this and kill you. You have to go to the wrong side. So this is the same as before, where the safe spots are, right? But obviously go to the wrong side. Then just circle around. There's going to be two tethers, I'm going to explain that. And go to the safe spot. Very simple. Now, there's two tethers. There's going to be one tether that's going to be fire, I think, always. And one tether that's always going to be light. Now, the fire tether goes into the group because it's a stack. The light tether goes to the safe spot, like the tank did before. So either here or here, the light tether will just be resolving its mechanic. Very simple. You see that the light tether here is here resolving the mechanic. Do not go into the group with this, otherwise you will wipe the group because everyone will get the debuff. Now there's going to be 3 clones on the edge of the arena, which you will have to dodge. Right? He will cast Burn Strike now 2 times. First, there is going to be the light clone, which will summon again the Twister or Step Leader below your group, below everyone of your party. So you have to keep moving. This is very important. And there's going to be the normal 2 burn strikes. So what you do is you just basically You look for the thunder one again. You have to keep moving here, right? So now the first resolved, which means that we just baited the AoEs below the ground. We run towards it, then you keep running towards the light one, and then you keep running towards the fire one. So you just literally run like this. This can also be on the opposite side, right? Just continue running around the arena here. So there's the light AoE from the dot that was applied. You can't see how we baited the AoEs because of my camera angle, but there are AoEs on the floor, so you have to keep moving. You dodge this one, and then you dodge the fire with your arm's length, or you go to the middle, that's up to you. Done. Very simple. You just have to open your eyes and rotate properly. Elemental break, again, is the spread. This one is with friends. Spread with your friends, or your party member, if they're not your friend. Unlucky. But as you can see, it's straightforward, right? Burnish Glory again, huge AoE damage. There's going to be one mechanic that's going to be a bit harder, but I think we found a way to solve it also in Party Finder. I think this is going to work. I'm very confident about it. Because it worked every single time perfectly for us. We're going to get to there when we get there. Turn of the Heavens indicates, again, fire is unsafe. Blue is safe. Right, let's just remember that. Right, this one is a bit different. As you can see, the circles spawned are different layered than before. For this one, as we just said, blue is safe, fire is not safe. If it's blue safe, you stand here and here with your partner for the elemental break that will happen now. This is always going to be an elemental break. And then it's going to be followed either by spread or stack, just as always. Very simple. If it is fire, sadly my camera angle is really hard to show this now. So if let's say fire is safe, you will have to stand on the edge of the arena with your partner. Let me see if I can get another angle in if I go a bit backwards again. To show you this better where you can stand. If that happens, because that's very unlucky here. Alright, so if it is fire, you want to stand here and here with your partner. Here, these are the safe spots. They will be formed by the circle, kinda. You will see on the floor, on the arena, you will see the safe spot because the shadow of the circle plus the arena marking will form it, basically. It is, I'm sorry I don't have a better angle on this, but that's basically it. You stand here, and then you either stay spread or you move together for the stack after the elemental break. But that's how you're gonna handle it if it is fire. Thunder is much easier to handle, in my opinion, like it. Elemental break. So this is fire, this means we're gonna have to stack. If this is thunder, we're gonna have to spread. We'll see now how we resolve this. Boom, boom, boom. Stack, done. Powder mark, normal tank buster, nothing special here. Light of the Heavens, which means I'm gonna disappear and do something. Or he's not disappearing, but he's gonna do something. So this is again like before. You know by now how this works. But there's gonna be, first off, the powder mark. So the tank has to get away from the group. So he's gonna go over here. And there will be a tether, which can either be fire or light. This is important. If it is light, you have to go over here as DPS, or as healer. If it is fire, you just stack with the group. Fire is easier, obviously. You stay in the group. Light, go out of the group. Tank goes to the bottom left. Group stays here, and resolve mechanic. Simple, straightforward. Not much to do different here. Alright, I think now we're gonna have the one mechanic that might be a problem. So Prismatic Deception. Okay, how do we handle this? How do I suggest handling this in Party Finder now? Without communication, obviously on voice chat it's much easier, but I think we found a strat on how to handle this properly. We have, as you can see, color-coded markers, but I don't think you need them even. What is important here is that, what is gonna happen first? There's gonna be clones of Fatebreaker appearing around the arena. On every intercardinal and cardinal will be a 1, so 8 in total. 3 of them will do an animation where they hold up their sword, their gun, their gun lance, you know, their weapon. They will hold up their weapon, indicating they will do a huge line AoE through the middle. The other ones won't. Now, how to solve this is that you have basically, if your guy will hold up the sword, you move forward. What does that mean? You move forward, indicating not safe. The person opposite of you has to move forward too, because this is unsafe now, right? Let's see from my PV. I'm gonna you will see, because I get the guy who holds up the sword. If your guy disappears without doing anything, you don't move forward. But if your partner on the opposite side moves forward, you have to move. So there's two rules. Number one, your guy holds up the sword, move forward. Your partner opposite of you moves forward, you move forward. Nothing of those happens, you stay. All right, so let's see both. Very, very handy that I got a PV of both. I think this way to handle it is actually really good and worked for us. We never failed this mechanic, and I think it's very easy. So you can see my guy does not hold up anything. He does no animation, nothing. Everyone else has had an animation, which means that someone of those had held up their sword, and it means unsafe, right? But only 3. But since they know that the person opposite to them moved, it is unsafe. So this is a safe spot, because neither my ninja nor me moved away from our position. Boom, there is the AoEs I was talking about. Now we'll have the guy hold up the sword. There you go. This means unsafe. Now I move forward. My partner, even though he doesn't see this, he will still move forward because he sees me moving forward. This is very, 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 very important because the whole line is unsafe. So again, what do you look for? You look, does your guy have the weapon upwards? Yes or no? Depending on that, you move in or not. Number 2, does your partner move in? Yes or no? If he moves in, you move in because it means unsafe, right? And that way, you will so easily, because everyone moves in and we know exactly where the safe spot is. So I think this is a very good way to handle it. Maybe, obviously, there might be better ways to handle this. For now, I think this was very good. For us, it worked 100% of the time, and I was very happy with the way we handled this. And you have lots of time. Lots and lots of time. Now we come to the final lap of this fight, which is basically every mechanic at once. I hope you learned them by now, because now you will just have to learn to do them properly in very fast succession. So the final lap of this fight is basically fire, thunder and light in a random order, followed by spread into either stack or spread, into knockback or huge AoE, into stack or tank cones, right? So here you go, spread into stack because it was fire, into the AoE plus knockback because it was fire, into the stack marker in the middle. Then it's going to be followed up by a bleed AoE again. And this is now going to do the same with thunder. So he's just going to do every mechanic basically at once. Again, he's going to do the spread, followed by either stack or more spread, or the group, depending on light, etc. I think it's once you understand how it works, it is very simple. Now you have the light version of it, so we're gonna spread as always. We go into our groups, we bait the twisters, and then we have the tether on one person, which is the huge AoE damage. So get away from that one. This order can be random. Again, you just have to learn how these mechanics exactly work. And this is every time followed up by the huge AoE dot. We called it Almagas because it's similar to that. And then we have the last one, Cycle of Faith for fire. Thunder, my bad. Go out, we have the AoEs on us. We have big AoE in the middle. And then we have the tether person who has to go to the front of the boss, and the tanks who have to bait the cones. There you go. That's it. That was the fight. You've seen everything. The DPS check is good. It's not too tight. We cleared this pretty easy, I think. We cleared this decently. I think the enemy is at 12 minutes. As you can see, we played at 1116. Rate damage required probably around 108, 107,000. But yeah, I hope you guys understood every single mechanic that I explained. I think I hope I explained them properly to you guys. Again, this is a day one, literally day one strat. There might be better strats out there. I just don't see how you can handle things better or more uptime wise. As long as it works, right? But there's not many ways on how to handle them with more uptime for your DPS or something, I think. But again, be on the lookout for maybe better strats, right? If you guys want to use this in Party Finder, just make sure to give it a name. Just call it the Stardust guide or whatever, so people know what you're talking about. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Good luck in your Party Finders. Good luck in enjoying and clearing the tier. I will be, at the moment I'm recording this video, will be going back into E12S. And I hope you guys will now be able to clear E11S in Party Finder. I think it's actually better doable than the previous two turns because it's very straightforward what it does and what will happen. But yeah, again, thank you for watching. Make sure to let me know what you didn't like and what you liked. And I'll see you boys around. Have a good one.